Hi, this is Ceevee. So today I'm going to review this book for you. This book is Contagious. It's a New York Times bestseller book, and the subtitle goes "Why Things Catch On." Contagious: Why Things Catch On, and it is by Jonah Berger. Now, Jonah Berger is a Wharton Business School marketing professor, and his interest is on the science of social transmission or the psychology behind why some ideas or why some things actually become more viral. Okay, so right now we are amidst a pandemic. Now this book doesn't have any connection to that. This book is all about how ideas as well as how brands or certain things actually spread across the world even without spending huge dollars in marketing. So um, Professor Jonah Berger has actually has been doing a course on the same subject. In fact, the title of the course itself is Contagious in Wharton. And it seems the students who enrolled for the course were also primarily out of word of mouth. So what this book talks all about is how you can also craft word of mouth messages in marketing. I think this is a very interesting tool, or rather, it is very interesting to know how you can actually craft certain marketing ideas so that your business as well as your ideas become contagious, right? Surprisingly, even in YouTube or in social media, you'll find that certain content are much more viral than certain others, right? Sometimes the well-produced, the best video, the best animation and stuff, they may not get the reach, whereas maybe something like a mobile short video or even a blurred video can end up becoming viral, right? So, what exactly are the principles behind this kind of a virality of messages? How do people actually end up buying or seeing more of your marketing content? That's what this book talks all about. Well, one of the very interesting story or examples that the book starts off is with the story of the blend tech. Okay, now blend tech is a mixer grinder. It's an equipment which was found by a person called Tom or Monhe. I mean, in the US, I mean, he was a normal guy, and he made this particular type of a blender, or rather a mixer grinder. Now he was struggling to market it, and that's when he hired a guy called named George Wright. Okay, and yes, he was right. You know what he did? He actually uh, shot a video in which he kept the blender, and he put around 50 marbles, the glass marbles what we get in soda bottles, the same glass marbles inside that blender, and he started blending it for around a minute. Okay, and the video was shot. The video, it's like, so much of rattling sound. The of course you can imagine the kind of noise it would be making out of that glass marbles hitting around in that blender. Obviously, people might have thought that the blender is gone. How can you actually blend so much of marbles inside it? But actually what happened is that the blender, after a minute of blending like this, he got the finest glass powders out of it. I mean, he just opened it and he shows that. And this video was just a couple of minutes, a small video. And this video was actually put up in the YouTube channel of that company, of that brand. And you know what? They were waiting what is going to happen, how people are going to take this up. And to their great surprise, this actually went so viral that millions of people actually then started looking around. Will it blend? Then he started doing a series on will it blend. He started putting CD covers, he started putting all kinds of stuff into the blender and showing that their blender is the best. It became so viral and so convincing a message for a grinder or a blender machine that people started to know, or rather talk about, the company as well as the product Blend Tech. Okay. Right. So this is just one case study which he has actually narrated in this book. There are a lot of such nice, interesting case studies and anecdotes where it is clearly mentioned how an idea or how this can become viral. Now you might be wondering that how is what we want to know, right? So he has a 6 principles behind how anything actually become viral. And do you want to know that 6 principles? Okay, so I'll quickly tell you because it's a book. Definitely, I don't want to reveal everything, but yeah, I will quickly tell the 6 important principles behind why, for example, certain New York Times articles or YouTube videos go viral, or why some products get more word of mouth, or even why certain political messages spread so wildly, or why certain baby names actually catch during certain times and at other times it is totally irrelevant. And you know what? One more thing, why negative publicity actually increases versus decreases sales. Sometimes even negative publicity can increase sales. Anyway, so that all that is what is covered in this book. Now, as I said, the 6 principles of contagiousness is what I'm going to quickly tell in the next 1 minute. Number 1 principle. Now he has coined this very interesting acronym called STEPS. Okay, now this I think nobody can forget. STEPS, STEPPS. Okay, S stands for social currency. The principle number 1, S stands for social currency. What is social currency? It is all about some people, we would like to talk about certain ideas which are trending, right? So did you see that video which is uploaded by this place, or did you people want to always show that they are trendy and they are updated and they are techno savvy and such things. So obviously whichever is of visible status of symbols, status symbols basically, they want to show off certain things. So such things obviously become more viral. So there should be a social currency. Why they should buy or spread a word about particular product. For example, one other example shown in this book is narrated in this book is about a very high costly, like $100 cheese steak. Okay, can you believe a cheese steak costing $100? So there's nothing special about it, but still people started talking about it, and then many people actually went to try and buy and eat that steak. Okay, so it became viral just because of the pricing. Okay, so and many people associated it as a status symbol. Okay, I ate this $100 cheese steak. Okay, so that's how it's called a social currency. Now coming to the second principle, it is called triggers. Now what is triggering? Triggering is basically if you want to talk about something, there should be a trigger for that, right? So is your product or idea which is it able to connect with something else in some context or the other? So for example, the cheese steak which I'm talking about, it could be of a great interest or a trigger for a conversation in a community where food as well as different kinds of food is being discussed, right? So that is a trigger. So second point is a trigger. Now the third principle is emotion. Okay. Now how does your message, or what is the type of emotion that your message actually is creating? Is it creating an anger? Is it creating happiness? It is creating frustration? Is it creating sadness? It is creating love? What is the emotion that it is actually creating? That message should send out some kind of an emotion because of which people feel like telling it more to other people. Okay, so that is the third principle, emotion. The fourth principle is called public. Now, any message for that matter, unless it is public, unless it is shared, unless it is out, people will not be able to, talk further about it, right? Certain things which are very private, of course, cannot be shared further. So obviously, whatever message you are putting it out, whether it is internet or social media or even in the in the public, it has to be in the public domain, and more people, at least the initial set of people, should be watching it or seeing it or talking about it in the public domain. It should not be a private message. Okay, so that is the fourth point. And the fifth point is basically about practical value. Now, people like to help others. Okay, now they want to show them that how our products or ideas are important for them or can solve their problems. So if you're we need to understand what makes something seem like a particularly good deal. Now we need to highlight the incredible value of what we offer, monetarily or otherwise. So there should be a practical value to all the ideas or products that we are sharing out. So that the other person, when they are particularly passing it out, they feel that they feel an expert themselves. Okay, so there should be a practical value to your idea. And finally, the sixth principle, stories. Yes, stands for stories. Now, people don't just share information, they always want some kind of a story associated with it. So do you have a story in along with your product? Is there a story which can be shared? Then it is definitely going to be viral. The story can be personal, the story can be somebody else's, but people love stories. Okay, so these are the 6 principles of what Professor Jonah Berger says as contagious and contagiousness. And it is not necessary that every message or everything that is becoming viral has all these principles. At least a few of them must be there. That is what he has identified, or probably at least a few of them are there. In some cases, sometimes in the case of social media videos, none of this may be mattering, but still it may become viral. I mean, at least there will be something which is actually able to connect people to that, and that's why they are able to share it further. So I hope my quick review, or rather it's not a review, wherein I just shared some insights what I read from this book, has helped you. I will keep on sharing more such books as well as reviews and information in my channels. Do subscribe to my YouTube, as well as my YouTube name is Ceevee's Corner, and in Facebook it is dr.ceevee, and in Instagram dr.ceevee, and in LinkedIn it is Connect Ceevee. So I'll see you in the next video. I hope this book as well as this message has been quite helpful for you. A lot of other information and content about the same book is available in the in internet. Do Google and try to implement or try to use these messages in your business. All the best.